In this video, we're going to talk about why you feel bored in your life and what you can do about it. Sit tight. Welcome back to another video. My name is Jen. I help people reinvent their reality. So we're going to talk about boredom today. And this is a hot topic because a lot of people, especially right now, are bored. They're bored. They don't know what to do with themselves, right? They've been doing the same thing every day. They're in like autopilot mode and realize, I'm really bored. Like I do the same thing every day. I get up, I eat the same breakfast, I do the same job, or I do the same morning routine and do things in a certain order and blah, blah, blah. I see the same people, all that kind of thing, right? I've talked about this before, autopilot mode and things like that. But true boredom, where does it stem from? What holds us back from doing new things, from alleviating the boredom? Why are we so bored? Well, understand that boredom is yourself holding yourself back. You holding yourself back from doing new things, right? Our brain, we train our brain from a very young age, right? We just go into a mode, autopilot. We do the same things, the same things, the same things. We memorize those patterns. And this becomes our comfort level. So whenever we try to break out of it, we're going to feel very uncomfortable. We're going to feel very uncomfortable. And a lot of times we're going to revert back. And it's often fear-based. So we feel bored, and we're often looking to things outside of us to fill up that boredom, right? To make us fulfilled. But it often doesn't work because the initial excitement of something superficial outside of you wears off. It wears off. And then we search for the next thing to alleviate the boredom, or the next person to alleviate the boredom, or the next whatever it is, right? So there's a few things you can do to shift your perspective on boredom. So boredom is often your own perception of yourself as well. So I'll put it this way. You think that your routine is boring, right? What you do every day is boring. Your job is boring. How you eat the same boring breakfast every day. You talk to the same boring people about nothing, right? You watch TV and it's just like a boring night, and then you go to sleep and do it all over again the next day. Realize this. That is your perception on it. So if you think that all your activities are boring, then you must be a boring person, right? We often equate it to that. But somebody else could do those same activities and be completely present in the moment and have a hell of a good time, and it'd be like the best thing ever. So it is how you're viewing yourself doing those activities a lot of times. The other thing is we blame other people for our boredom a lot of times. We say, oh, well, you never want to do anything. You never want to do anything with me. Therefore, life is boring. Well, you can't control other people, but understand that you can't project it out on somebody else. You can't blame somebody else for your boredom, because essentially the boredom is some sort of lack inside, some sort of void that you're feeling inside, and that's why you're looking for things outside. So that includes people, right? People, places, things, whatever it is, right? Taking trips, whatever, vacations to get away, right? To run away, essentially, from what's inside. So, boredom requires looking a little bit deeper inside you, going deeper. And we don't like to do this because it's uncomfortable. But realize, with the dark comes the light. So out of the dark comes the light. We both possess both. We both possess both, right? We both possess both within us. I said that kind of weird, but it's always in us, the light and the dark. So a lot of times it means facing our shadow self, or it's a side of ourselves that we keep hidden. So it could be parts of ourselves where we feel insecure, we feel unworthy, we feel like we're lacking joy in our life. We feel, that the void. What is the void? You have to explore the void that you're feeling. What is the void? You can't just fill it up with things, because those things are going to eventually, the interest is going to wear off, and then it's still going to be left. I use the example of the donut hole, right? We have the donut hole in the middle. It's like our heart, right? If you think about it, your heart is that hole. So there is a void there because you're looking for usually more purpose, more passion. Depends how bored you really are, right? But it's also about your self-image too. A lot of times, like I said, we tie boredom to being boring, right? We say, I do the same thing every day, therefore I am a boring person. And we remember that, right? We pick up on that. The more we tell ourselves that, the more we believe it. So it's about these limiting beliefs that we have. And, if we've gone through our life like this for years or for a long time, then it's hard to break out of it. So the only person holding you back is you. You are holding yourself back. So how do you alleviate boredom? Well, gratitude is a good thing. So realizing, what are you grateful in your life for in your life, right? Because boredom, we're looking at things from a superficial level. But understand that you have a lot of things in your life that you can be happy for, that you can fill up that void, that donut hole, just by normal everyday things, food, shelter, whatever it is, nature, right? So it's about being present with yourself too, because a lot of us aren't present. We go into autopilot mode and we're not really thinking. We're kind of like, we're zombies, right? We're just going through the motions of life. But you can't just go through the motions of life. You have to take a step back and actually feel in your body sometimes. This is going to help. It's not corny, it's helpful. It's going to help you shift to that mentality that, wow, I do have a lot of things to be grateful for. If I compare myself, not that you should compare yourself to other people, but think of all the things that I have in my life that other people are lacking or may want or may need, right? They're feeling that void inside. But I already have, I already have love. I already have everything I need in me. It's just about exploring it and letting it out. So it's often, when I say the void, it's not that we're empty, because we always do have inside of us this potential to fulfill our needs, or fulfill that place in our heart where we feel like we're lacking in some way. So in a way, it's almost like a false kind of lack, because we always possess it. We always have it in us. We always have creativity in us, right? We always have love in us. We always have the ability to feel those emotions of gratitude. So just when or when you feel, for example, when you feel really grateful, or you feel really, like this expansive, loving feeling towards somebody, it's almost like, or something, like when you look at like a really cute animal, you feel like that fluffy feeling inside. That right there is a clue, or is a signal, or is proof that you already possess that within you. So it is kind of like this false sense of lack, where we think we're lacking, but it's not that we're actually lacking, it's just that we haven't delved deeper inside and explored ourselves a little bit more, right? And be present with ourselves. So we're always thinking up here, right? We're always thinking up here because as a society, we're just kind of trained to always think from our logical side instead of in our heart. So it's about gratitude. What are you grateful for? It's about being present with yourself, right? That is going to shift the perception a little bit of yourself, and how you view boredom. It's about exploration and going outside the comfort zone, which can be really difficult, but it doesn't have to be like this huge thing. We always think, well, in order to alleviate my boredom, I need to plan some huge vacation, or I need to buy something really expensive, or I need to get this or that, or I need to have find like a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband, wife, or I need to have kids or something like that. No. Explore and do one small thing each day that is either outside of your comfort zone or something that you've never done before, which is often outside of the comfort zone. Something very small. It could be just like driving a different way, going to a different spot to get your coffee, brushing your teeth with the opposite hand, sitting at a different place at the table for your dinner, anything. Because what that's going to do, it's going to create new pathways in your brain, new circuits, new connections. Because you already, when you do the same things day after day after day, it's basically you're on power save mode with your brain. So it's going to feel uncomfortable to snap out of that mode a little bit, but it's going to create new connections in your brain the more you do it. So it starts with something small every day. And then the last thing is to turn inward. I already said this. Turn inward and really look at, why are you bored? Ask yourself, why am I bored? What inside? You have to peel the layers off, okay? Peel the layer off the superficial, whatever it is, the new toy you just bought, or the superficial relationship, or not that they're superficial, but person, right? Peel another layer, and then another layer if you have to, and then another layer, and get to deep down, what are you lacking, really? Why do you feel unfulfilled? Why do you feel like you're reaching out for this thing or person to fill you up? Why can you not feel that inside? Does it go back from childhood, from a young age, where maybe you felt neglected in some way, or you felt, you were bullied, or, it can stem back from a lot of things. Somebody called you a name, that can stick with you for a lifetime. Remember that. Or you maybe experienced something, you had like a traumatic experience, right? That can stick with you. So it's about exploring that. And it's going to feel uncomfortable because those are the darker parts of ourselves that we often don't want to face, and we try to cover them up with, material things, right? But in order to release those emotions or those more negative states, because boredom too is a little lower on the vibrational scale, but underneath the boredom is probably certain states of like unworthiness or hopelessness, or feeling undeserving or abandoned in some way. There's usually some other emotions underneath the boredom. Okay, so you have to get to those emotions. What are you really feeling? What are you really lacking? And then you can determine, okay, what can I do each day? Something small each day to either try something new, explore maybe a hidden creative potential, or something I used to like to do, be a kid again and find that joyful side to you. And that's going to help you. It's going to help you not feel so bored, because usually we say, oh, I'm bored, I'm bored, I'm bored. And that's like a superficial thing for something deeper inside. So it's about redefining what happiness truly is for you, what fulfillment really is. Be bold, be brave, be confident enough or bold enough to look at fulfilling yourself in different ways, okay? Where, something that used to bring you happiness may not be resonating with you anymore. And that's like your comfort level, so that's all you know. So just because something made you happy years ago doesn't mean that now it is, right? Because if you fill yourself with those things, those material, superficial things now, and you really you still feel the same, like they just don't do it for you anymore, then that's a sign that you're going deeper. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing, because it's a sign that you're looking for more than just the superficial, top of the line things in your life. It means you want more meaning than just stuff, right? You realize that stuff is just stuff. What's underneath the stuff? What do I really need, right? That I've been covering up all these years. So it shifts how you think about it. So it's actually not a bad thing. It's your body telling you, or your higher self telling you that, or your heart telling you that, all right, I lived many years and this did it for me, and now it doesn't do it for me anymore. It's not resonating. I need to release that stuff. I need to let it go and shift my thinking a little bit, and allow myself to think differently. Allow myself to think differently for once, because that is going to be the game changer, essentially. So, with that being said, I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you would. I try to provide value as much as I can. Have a great day. I will see you on tomorrow's video. Peace.